Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number M332158. Case is style of state of Texas versus James Anthony Lindsay. Mr. Lindsay, is that your full name? Yes. Mr. Lindsay, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Lindsay, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Yes. Mr. Lindsay, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Lindsay? That's good. Can't be better than being blessed. Mr. Lindsay, you're represented in your case by your attorney Jack Lawrence. Attorney Lawrence, how are you doing?
Just fine, Your Honor.
Mr. Lawrence, do you waive a record in Mr. Lindsay's case?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And the state is represented in this case by attorney Erica Porter. Ms. Porter, how are you doing?
Doing great, Your Honor.
That's good. Now, Mr. Lindsay, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. Actually, I have before me, let me start off with the information. I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information alleges that you, James Anthony Lindsay, on or about March 12, 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of assault family violence. Mr. Lindsay, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge Mr. Lindsay, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, you're pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Lindsay, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment, also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials JL on a line that is next to a box that's checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. Mr. Lindsay, did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, Mr. Lindsay, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature? On the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification in the Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Mr. Lindsay, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that is titled Defender? Mr. Lindsay, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Lawrence, go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything that's in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lindsay, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1, the Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment, and State's Exhibit Number 2, the probable cause affidavit, which is in the court's file. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibits 1 and 2?
Yes, sir.
Any objections, Mr. Lawrence?
None, Your Honor.
No objection. State's Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Lawrence, you advised and counseled Mr. Lindsay. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, not at all, Your Honor.
And Mr. Lindsay, your attorney, Mr. Lawrence, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation? Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. Lindsay, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of no contest, the state has offered 14 days in Jefferson County Jail, plus court costs were given him credit for 9 days. The defendant is to turn himself in by on September the 22nd by 10 a.m. and his sentence will conclude on September the 27th.
Actually, it's going to be, he has to turn himself in by 6 p.m.
He wants it to be 10
I know he could turn it at or before 6 p.m. We have to put 6 p.m. in the judgment.
Okay.
Okay. Did the 22nd to the what?
The 27th.
You turn yourself in at 10 a.m., you get credit for Friday.
You have his affidavit. What is it? What is it, court call? 337. Thanks. Mr. Lindsay, the state is offering that you serve 14 days in Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for the time that you have already served in jail. The court cost in this case is $337. Will you be able to pay the $337 court cost? Now, Mr. Lindsay, I have before me a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigence. I'm gonna hand this document to your attorney. Mr. Lindsay, do you recognize that document? Now flip that page over and is that your signature above the line that is titled defendant's signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Lindsay, is everything on that document still true and correct today?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Lindsay, the court has previously found that you were indigent. The court will also find that you are indigent. Based on that finding of the indigency and the hardship, the court is going to waive the court costs in this case. That simply means that you will not be required to pay it pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. Mr. Lindsay, do you understand the state's offer and the findings that the court has made in your case?
Yes.
And do you think that it's fair and it's just? And do you accept it?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lindsay, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Lindsay, pursuant to Article 176.1 of the Texas Administrative Code, your attorney should have a written admonition on ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. So in accordance with the Texas Administrative Code, Section 176.1, the court hereby admonish you of the following. You are, by entry or order or judgment, ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Beginning now, if you possess a firearm or ammunition, it could lead to charges against you. If you have questions about how long you will be ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, you should consult an attorney. Number 3, under Texas Penal Code Section 46.013, a firearm meaning any device designed, made, or adapted to expel a projectile through a barrel by using the energy generated by an explosion or burning substance, or any device readily convertible to that use. B, firearm does not include a firearm that may have as an integral part a folding knife blade or other characteristics of weapons made illegal by Penal Code Chapter 46, and that is 1, an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, or 2, a replica of an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, but only if the replica does not use rimfire or centerfire ammunition. Statutes listed below are a starting point for ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. For more information about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or for more information on how long your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition lasts, the court recommends you contact an attorney. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.292, Magistrate's Orders for Emergency Protection. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 42.0131, Notice of persons convicted of misdemeanors involving family violence. Penal Code Section 46.02, unlawful carrying weapons. Penal Code Section 46.04, unlawful possession of firearm. Penal Code Section 25.07, violation of certain court orders or conditions of bond in a family violence, child abuse and neglect, sexual assault or abuse, indecent assault, stalking, or trafficking case. Family Code Section 85.026, warning on protective orders. Now, Mr. Lindsay, this will conclude your case. You're gonna stand on the X next to your attorney, follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day, and she's gonna give you the instructions and when and where to turn yourself in on September 22nd, 2023, at or before 6 p.m. And at the time is it'll be September 22nd, 2023 through September 27th, 2023, at or before 6 p.m. All right?
So you receive credit for 9 days?
Yes. Yeah, please stand on the X in front of, right in front of our court, right here, in front of the clerk. Court is back in session with the court arraignment docket. Next two cases are cause numbers 23 CC Ciara 0344 and cause number 23 CC Ciara 1453. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Jonathan Ray Abshire. Mr. Abshire, would you please come forward? Mr. Abshire, your full name is Jonathan Ray Abshire?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Abshire, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Abshire, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Abshire, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Abshire?
Doing okay.
Doing okay? That's good. Mr. Abshire, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials on the line that state, I want to reset this case to hire my own attorney?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Abshire, before you signed in and initialed this document, did you read the document?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Sir.
Mr. Abshire, your case is going to be reset by our court coordinator, who's on the far end. Once you reset your case, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Just please have a seat in that first chair by the wall. Next case is cause number 23 CCCR 0224. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Melissa K. Holcomb. Ms. Holcomb, would you please come forward? Ms. Holcomb, is your full name Melissa K. Holcomb?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Ms. Holcomb?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Ms. Holcomb. Would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Holcomb, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Ms. Holcomb, you may put your hand down. Ms. Holcomb, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials on the line that states, I want to reset this case to hire my own attorney?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Holcomb, before you signed and initialed this document, did you read the document?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Holcomb, our court coordinator is going to reset your case. Once your case is reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Now, before she does that, I have some bond conditions that I need to give you. I'm going to go over these bond conditions with you. Ms. Holcomb, the title of that document is Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. Do you see that title?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go over this bond condition with you, and it reads as follows. Following the arrest and or accusation in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are orders subject to the following additional conditions. Number one, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Condition number two, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
And condition number three, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Holcomb, if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond can be revoked, and if your bond is revoked, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. You'll be arrested and placed in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Ms. Holcomb, just have a seat in that first chair by the wall, and when the court coordinator is ready, she's gonna call you to the window. You're welcome. Next case is cause number 23 CCCR 0016, case of style of the state of Texas versus Paulette Haywood. Ms. Haywood, would you please come forward? Okay. Ms. Haywood, your full name is Paulette Renee Haywood?
Yes.
How you doing, Ms. Haywood? You're blessed? That's good. Now, Ms. Haywood, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Haywood, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Okay.
Ms. Haywood, you may put your hand down. Ms. Haywood, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that is titled Defendant?
Yes.
And are these your initials on a line that state, I want to apply for a court-appointed attorney? I have another document here. This document is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Okay.
On page 2 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Haywood, before you signed and initialed these documents that I just showed you, did you read the documents?
Yes.
Did you understand what you read?
Mhm.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Haywood, based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Lori Perazzo. Attorney Perazzo will be given the information to contact you, and you will be given the information to contact her. Our court coordinator is going to give you that information. Once you get that information from the court coordinator, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. Ms. Haywood, would you please have a seat in that first chair by the wall?
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Next case is cause number 23 CCCR 0982. The case is style of state of Texas versus Holly Heisner. Ms. Heisner, would you please come forward?
Yeah, for the phone.
Ms. Heisner, your full name is Holly Heisner.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Heisner, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Heisner, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Heisner, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Heisner?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. Heisner, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
It is.
Are these your initials on the line that states you want to apply for a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant Signature. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Heisner,
Thank you.
before you sign and initial these documents that I just showed you, did you read the documents?
Yes,
Did you understand what you read?
I did.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Heisner, I've read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Ryan Matuska.
Okay.
Attorney Matuska will be given information to contact you, and you will also be given information to contact Mr. Matuska.
Okay.
Our court coordinator is going to give you that information. Once she gives you that information, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Please have a seat in that third chair by the wall.
Thank you.
Okay. Next case is cause numbers 23CCCR 1127. And the next case is cause number 23CCCR 118. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Tamia LaShanti Stidman. Ms. Stidman, would you please come forward? Ms. Stidman, your full name is Tamia LaShanti Stidman?
Yes.
Ms. Stidman, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Stidman, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God? Ms. Stidman, how are you doing? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Ms. Stidman, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? And are these your initials on the line that state you would like to apply for a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
I also have another document that's titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant's signature. Is this your signature? Ms. Stidman, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents? Did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Stidman, I read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. The attorney that will be appointed to represent you is Attorney Nathan Reynolds. Attorney Reynolds will be given information to contact you, and you will be given information to contact Mr. Reynolds. Our court coordinator is going to give you that information. Now, before she does that, I have two things. First thing, I have some bond conditions that I need to give you. You can hand these to her. Now, Ms. Stidman, the bailiff has just handed you a set of bond conditions. And I'm going to go over these bond conditions with you. And the document is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. Do you see that title?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go over these bond conditions with you. And it reads as follows. Following the return of a criminal information in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or other United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs or alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Now, condition, let's see. And condition number 3 states that the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
And condition number 4 does not apply. However, condition number 5 does apply. Condition number 5 states the defendant is prohibited from possessing a firearm or ammunition unless defendant is a peace officer as defined by section 1.07 Penal Code, actively engaged in employment as a sworn, full-time paid employee of a state agency or political subdivision. You understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Stidman, if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond can be revoked, and if your bond is revoked, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. Now, the court coordinator is going to give you the information to contact your attorney, and you'll be given information to contact him as well. And once she gives you that information, you need to follow the bailiff. Okay, so just have a seat. And when she calls your name, go to the window, and then once you finish with one, follow the bailiff.
Okay. Are you
Well, we'd have to set it, we call the jail and see if he's there to set it. If not, we'll have to set it from here.
Okay, because I'm gonna put you on the jail room for Thursday, but if you bond out before then.
Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in cause number 23 CCCR 0120. Case is style in the state of Texas versus Chrisdale Ardwine. Mr. Ardwine, is that your full name? How you doing, Mr. Ardwine? How are you doing?
Oh, fine, and you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Ardwine, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Jefferson County Affidavit, Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there's a set of initials on the line that state, I want to apply for a court-appointed attorney. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Vengeance. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a signature on the line that is titled Defendant Signature. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ardwine, before you signed any initial of these documents, did you read the document?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Ardwine, Mr. Ardwine, let me do this here. Court is back in session, call number 23 CCCR 0120, case to style. The state of Texas versus Chris Dale Ordwine. Mr. Ordwine, I have before me a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this document, there is a signature above the line that's titled defendant.
Yes, sir.
That's your signature. Now, there was a correction that was made on this document. And is everything in this document still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Mr. Ordwine, the court has read your answers to these questions. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of court-appointed attorney. The attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Charles Rojas. Attorney Rojas will be given information to contact you. You will also be given information to contact him. The court coordinator is going to give you that information. Once she gives you that information, Mr. Ordwine, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. Now, Mr. Ordwine, just have a seat at that first chair.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Once you get that information, Mr. Ordwine, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. You're welcome. And this will conclude the calling of the court's arraignment docket and calls on today's date of September 5th, 2023. In County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session with the arraignment docket. Court will go over bond forfeitures. Next case is cause number 23CC Ciara 0934. Case is style of State of Texas versus Dallas, Dwayne Clavell. Dallas Clavell was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. At or about 9 a.m. The court's bailiff called Dallas Clavell, name at the courthouse door. Dallas Clavell did not answer. Dallas Clavell has not appeared since the court has been in session. The time now is 12:08 p.m. on today's date. Mr. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Dallas Clavell at the courthouse door?
Dallas Clavell. Dallas Clavell. There's no response, Your Honor.
Okay, Dallas Clavell name was just called again at the courthouse door. Dallas Clavell did not answer. Reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Clavell an opportunity to appear in court. He does not appear in court. State, do you have a motion?
Statements for bond.
That motion will be granted. Dallas Clavell's bond will be forfeited in cause number 23CCCR 0934. And a warrant will be issued for his arrest. Next three cases are cause number 23CCCR 0350, cause number 23CCCR 0351, and cause number 23CCCR 0352. All three cases are styled the State of Texas versus Manuel Lynn Walters Jr. Manuel Walters Jr. was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. for the court's arraignment docket. At or about 9 a.m., the court's bailiff called the name of Manuel Walters Jr. at the courthouse door. Manuel Walters Jr. did not answer. Manuel Walters Jr. has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 12:10 p.m. on today's date. Mr. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Manuel Walters Jr. at the courthouse door?
Walter Jr. There's no response, Your Honor.
Manuel Walters Jr. name was just called at the courthouse door by the court's bailiff. Manuel Walters Jr. did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Walters an opportunity to appear in court. He has not appeared in court. State, do you have a motion?
Statements for bond forfeiture.
A motion will be granted. Warrant will be issued for Manuel Walters Jr. and the warrant shall be issued for his arrest in cause numbers 23CCCR 0350, cause number 23CCCR 0351, and cause number 23CCCR 0352. And this will conclude the calling of the court's arraignment docket in County Court at Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, on today's date of September 5th, 2023.